Harper is with us, and before we go to the introduction,
Yeah.
this is what they say about you around here. They say, hey, Hill Harper's coming on.
We all said, he's so smart.
He's smart.
He's done everything.
Now I'm going to do everything I can
Of course.
to demystify that.
He's really educated.
He's so smart.
He has like multiple degrees.
He's an actor, an author, a political activist. He probably is best known for his role in CSI New York. You can also go see him in the new Jennifer Lopez thriller, The Boy Next Door.
You're gonna boss her around.
Oh,
He's got a new book out in his series of books. This one is called Letters to an Incarcerated Brother. And next week he will be the celebrity ambassador for the 2015 Pan-African Film and Arts Festival taking place here in LA. We're out of time. Thank you for
Okay,
coming.
that's it.
It's nice
Appreciate
talking
that.
with you.
You know, I'm so honored that PAF, or the Pan-African Film Festival, asked me to be the ambassador this year. They show over 160 films from around the world, the African diaspora and from the African continent, and it's the biggest black film festival in the world.
And there is a lack of awareness about these films.
Well, you know, I mean, we get into this Oscar season where we are now, the award season, and there's a lot of focus on films that get this specific attention, but what about these smaller films or films from countries that may not submit to the Oscars, et cetera, et cetera?
Right.
This was one on the Black Panthers, I think. Right?
Yeah, that's going to be the opening night film. That's the Black Panthers Vanguard of the Revolution. That's the opening night film. And then we have a centerpiece film, which is
There was a shot of J. Edgar Hoover right there, wasn't
Well, I mean, listen, he was phone tapping the Black Panthers. So we have Triangle Going to America, which is an Ethiopian film. Two of the biggest Ethiopian stars are in that film. You know, these are actors that are superstars in Ethiopia, but you
We
wouldn't
would
necessarily
never,
know
ever
them
know
here.
here, right?
Exactly. And then this is the closing night film, The Man in 3B. Lamont Rucker, Jack A. Harry. I haven't seen it, but that's why it's closing night film. I'm gonna go on closing
You're
night.
gonna go on.
okay.
Do you
Yes.
have any films yourself that will be in the festival?
I don't. This year, I've had a number of films before that have been in the festival, and I think that's why they asked me to be the ambassador. This year, I don't have to do any official work promoting any specific film. I can promote all the films.
I know you were talking a lot after all the nominations came out for Oscars about people were frustrated that there was a lack of diversity. Selma, different things that didn't happen, but you say it starts way before it comes to the vote.
It starts way, you know, the idea of speaking about diversity when the Oscar nominations come out is a red herring, in my opinion, because it starts way before the development process of the types of films that are getting made, the types of actors that are getting hired to play the roles, because all of the actors that get nominated are deserving. You can't say, well, this person is not deserving. These are wonderful performances. And I will say Ava DuVernay, I believe that directing work that she did in Selma was deserving of some special attention.
Hell, the argument that's made for that, and who knows what the underlying reasons are, but the argument that's made for that is, who do you take out of the group then?
Exactly,
Yes.
and that's the point. And so that's why it happens in the development process and earlier on.
Yes.
Yeah.
I have to tell you, disappointed. You know, we are big fans. A lot of us here of Covert Affairs.
Oh, why do you want to mention
no,
that?
I'm sorry.
Oh, man,
Am I
yes.
going to send you into depression?
It got canceled. But it's okay. We're going to bounce back.
Right?
I'll hopefully get some job. I don't
think
know
you
what.
might be
I might.
employed?
I might be able to get something.
3 years from now, Covert Affairs, the movie.
Your Covert Affairs, the film. Piper Perabo,
There you
Hill
go.
Harper, Chris Gorham,
There you go.
Peter Gallagher, Kari
All of our
Matchett.
faves.
Start the fundraising now on the internet, and we'll do
It would be great. I
Okay.
mean, that was such a fun show to do. Coming off of CSI New York and
9
going
years on that,
yeah,
right?
9 years, yeah, and then going straight to Covert Affairs for 2 years was fantastic. And then we have some other good things in the works though. So I'm excited about the future.
And what was it like working with J Lo?
Oh, she's fantastic. She's a pro. And the best part was actually the director Rob Cohen, who directed me in a film I did years ago called The Skulls.
I love that film with
Josh
Leslie
Jackson, Leslie Bibb,
Bibb.
Paul Walker, God rest his soul, and,
Yeah.
it was a good group. And Rob, just being able to work with Rob Cohen again was fantastic.
You know, I mean, your career has been, I hate to use the word interesting because it's a dull word, but it's been interesting because you have so many facets to who you are and what you want to get accomplished and what you want to do. The series of books that you have done,
Yeah, this
and I don't know, the first one maybe was The Conversation. I'm not sure what.
is the
First one was called Letters to a Young Brother. This is,
Okay.
This is the last
This is
one.
the last one.
Letters
exactly.
to an Incarcerated Brother,
Yes.
because you're dealing with the fact that an incredible percentage of young black men are incarcerated.
Yes.
And that to some extent they don't know where to turn.
Yeah.
And you're trying to supply some of this to them.
Well, we have a mass incarceration crisis in this country. We have 5% of the world's population, but 25% of the world's inmates. There are more African Americans incarcerated, or more African American men incarcerated today than were slaves in 1860. We've incarcerated more black people in this country than were incarcerated at the height of apartheid in South Africa.
That's
but the number one thing is not about race, and I don't want race to be a way to sort of have us distracted from the conversation. It's really about poverty. We're locking up an amazing amount of poor white folks, an amazing amount of poor Latino folks, an amazing amount of poor black people. And we really have to understand that there's an inextricable link between the destruction of our public education system and this height and rise of incarceration.
How do you feel, and I know you address this in the book, there's a siren call out there for young African-American males having to do with hip-hop and the kind of success they see and the kind of role models they have that cuts two ways.
It does. It cuts two ways, but part of it is on us. And when I say us, all of us, because again, I don't want it to be just about race and image around race. It's about also opportunity or perceived opportunity. Sure, I would rather have a lot of young brothers know about Ken Chenault and compare Ken Chenault, CEO, Chairman of American Express. I could compare his balance sheet to every single rapper, including Jay-Z, add them all up, and they don't hit Ken Chenault, right? But most young brothers don't know Ken Chenault exists. No. So is that on us? Is that on the media? Is that on teachers? Is that on Ken Chenault? And that's, and so we all are in this to say, okay.
But that's not just, that doesn't cut just across ethnic and racial lines. Most young people could never tell you who Ken Chenault is.
That's true, but many young people know that there are people like Mark Zuckerberg that kind of look like them, and I can aspire to be Mark Zuckerberg. But if I only see this brother who raps, and I think my only way out is to be a baller, a rapper, etc.
And you're not going to make it.
Yeah, unless you.
Exactly.
It's 1 out of 1,000 who are going to make it.
We could talk with you forever,
yes,
by the way, but we got to go.
Because
He's smart.
He's smart.
And he's handsome.
And you're caring, basically. You.
And we care. And we're going to go to the Pan-African Film Festival.
Yeah, it takes place in LA from February 5th to the 16th. All the information is on our website, so you can go and find out more.
PATH.org is the website for PATH as well.